It's Saturday, January 18th, 2025. I'm TC Kirkham, and this is the Kirkham Report. Greetings, final community, and everyone else. I'm TC Kirkham, TKR Video Central. Welcome to this week's edition of the Kirkham Report. It's going to be a long show. I got a lot to talk about, a lot on my chest, a lot to inform you about what's been going on around here, which I talked about last week, and as you can see, a ton of stuff. So let's get started with this week's cover story. I honestly wonder what goes on in the minds of politicians when they do things that don't make any sense. This week, yesterday as a matter of fact, the Supreme Court voted in favor of the government rather than the people and upheld the unconstitutional TikTok ban that was instigated by Congress last year. Unconstitutional? Yes, it infringes on free speech because while the government claims they have national security concerns, they have never proven it. They have not offered any shred of evidence that any kind of national security issue actually exists, simply because ByteDance, the company that runs TikTok, is owned by a Chinese company. I feel that the government is getting more and more paranoid every day, and you never know how it's going to go because one administration to the next. We, of course, have the inauguration of the next president on Monday this week as I'm recording this, and I don't think it's going to get any better. I do feel that the Supreme Court has overstepped its authority a number of times in the last few years. Normally, I would give them the benefit of a doubt, but with the kind of boneheaded decisions they've made over the last 2 years, I can't do that anymore. I am infuriated with the fact that they chose national security, unproven, over free speech. For the document that they proudly proclaimed to be the most important document in the world, the United States Constitution, they stepped all over it with their unanimous decision on Friday. It is blatantly wrong to ban TikTok. It is a tool of free speech. I don't particularly care for TikTok. I don't use it that much. I have people I follow, and eventually, if it sells out or whatever they're going to do with it, I may go over there. But you are now costing probably close to 20 or 30 million people their livelihood. Now, when you consider how many people actually depend on TikTok to make their earnings, you could send unemployment skyrocketing. This is an absolute travesty, and we've got to start standing up to the government and telling them we're not going to put up with this shit anymore. You know, you are elected for us. We tell you what to do. You don't tell us what to do. That is what the Constitution says. And 90% of the people, at least, I'd say 70% of the people out there, do not approve of this TikTok ban. The government has yet to prove any national security concerns. Maybe if they came and laid out their case, you might change some minds. But until you do, I ain't having any of it. And that's this week's cover story.
Hey gang, we've got merch. Show off your love for all things TKR. Find t-shirts and more in the TKR swag shop. Click on the link in the show description. 2 solid hours of your favorite dance music classics. Crank up the speakers, turn on the mirror ball, and trip the light fantastic. It's Saturday Night Disco Party. Saturdays 11 p.m. US ET. TKR Video Central on YouTube.
Had a little extra fundage laying around after my last check, so I took advantage of Spend Me Round Stores. Great clearance page. They have stuff on clearance all the time. You can save even more by using their code 7 sale all together, number 7 in the word sale in their code box. I forgot it last time. I didn't know if it was any good after the end of the year, but I still saved a bundle. And right now, that's important for people like me. I picked up 3 things. I've only listened to one of them so far, but I'm going to soon. This is what year did this come out? 2021. This is 2021's "Give Me the Future" from Bastille. This comes with a booklet, which is really cool. It also said it came with a bunch of free stuff, so I implied there's a video, so I'll have to go through the booklet and see if I can find it. I am not really that familiar with Bastille. I know their hit Pompeii from a few years ago, but I know there's quite a few members of the vinyl community that like them, and I also know they go crazy when they have stuff out Record Store Day. So I figured I'd give it a shot for, I think it was $10. Not a bad deal. Give Me the Future. The second one I did have at one point on digital, but I didn't own it. I got it from someone, so I figured I might as well buy the vinyl and have it as a backup, even though it doesn't come with a download code. This is Ed Sheeran's, I think it's called Equal, because of the equal sign there, from 2022, I believe. This has his hit Shivers on it. A lot of good stuff. I mean, you can't go wrong with Ed Sheeran. This is also on white vinyl. Pull that out. Just have a lyric sleeve. Everything. This is the one I have listened to. Well, actually, I've listened to this before I listened to the other one too. Couldn't wait to get this and add it to my collection, and I will be spinning it over the next few days, as always. And finally, this has actually been getting some really good notices online from critics and such, and I'm sure Professor Carlson will want to pick this up immediately. This is the brand new album from Donny Osmond. It's called Start Again. This is the first album in over a decade from Osmond. It's also the first album he wrote or co-wrote every song on. And I'll tell you something. This is really good. It is on your basic black vinyl. And being an Osmond fan from way back, I was a kid when they first became popular. This is excellent. So if you're a Donny fan, you're going to love it. If you're not a Donny fan, give it a try. You might like it because it's actually really good. It's pure pop from beginning to end, and really terrific. And it came out in 2021, but this is the most recent thing he released, and it was really, really excellent. So that's what I picked up from Spin Me Round. You can order from them at spinmeroundstore.com. You can catch their awesome videos on every social media. I watch them on YouTube, but they're also on TikTok, at least till tomorrow, and a few other things. So definitely check them out. And hi to the gang down there, Stephanie, Mr. Beard, and all their kids and employees and everything. Love you guys, and keep up the great sales.
Like what you see? Level up! Become a TKR patron. We can always use more supporters of our channel. Click on the Patreon link in the show description. A different top hits countdown from hundreds of radio stations around the world each week. Radio Retro Countdown, Sundays 4 p.m. US ET, TKR Video Central on YouTube.
Okay, this is going to take a while. Don and Mary have been on a tear getting rid of a lot of stuff. Now, I'm going to start with the stuff I have purchased from them from New England Cajun Roots Resellers Wednesday Hump Day auction. I have an album and several CDs, which they're blowing out for $1 a piece. Dawn also sent along a couple of freebies, a password book that she had, and also a Christmas, I think it's a Christmas CD, is it not? Headliners 2? Nope, just a sampler from more recent stuff. This is still sealed. Headliners 2, it has Live, Melissa Etheridge, Def Leppard, Jimmy's Chicken Shack, Tonic, a bunch of other acts on it. Probably centered somewhere around 99 or 2000 from the track listing on it. I don't know if you can see that. And there's the cover. Also on CD, 3 wonderful albums that I did not have on CD, and boy, I'm glad I got these because I lost them. I had 2 of the 3 of these on digital, and I lost them. So I don't know if I can get them back from Amazon or not. We'll have to see. But this is the greatest hits collection, first of all, and then 2 other great albums from Craig Chicaso. I talked about him on Influencers this past year. This is the hits collection called Panorama. It includes most of his stuff from the first 5 albums, which you see pictured back there. And that also includes the first album, Acoustic Highway, which I don't think I've ever had in full. I had a couple of the tracks from it. And Shadow and Light. So I think that leaves just 1 or 2 albums I do not have by the man. Love his guitar work. He is an amazing artist as new age, jazz, and blues. Fantastic stuff, and not to mention all the stuff he did for 20 plus years with Starship. So I don't know why I picked this up. I actually was hoping it would have the single on it that was out a few years ago, but this is actually newer. So, but she's still got a beautiful voice. I just don't know whether I would listen to it that much. But for $1, it's okay. This is Kathy Lee and Born for You. And that Kathy Lee is Kathy Lee of Regis and Kathy Lee Gifford, of course. The CD single of... what is this? I can't remember. I gotta look at it. It's the Propeller Heads, Spy Break, that's it. I like the Propeller Heads a lot. I've been a fan since History Repeating with Shirley Bassey a few years ago. And they're quite good. Katie Lang and the Sis Boom Bang, Sing It Loud. This is, we got a CD and booklet here. Goes back to, I think this is the late 80s. With that band name probably is. And 2 albums by Was Not Was. This one, Are You Okay? I love them. I have a couple of their albums already. And the collection, which has all their hits, including, these are mostly remixes. What Up Dog is on here, and Walk the Dinosaur, Spy in the House of Love, all the songs I love by them are on here. So those are the CDs, all $1 a piece. And I also bought this simply for the novelty. This is an album that came out in 1979 or 1980 that had been recorded a few years earlier, before he became Pope John Paul II. This is Angelicus Domini. He has an incredible singing voice. Dawn actually had this up on her Weird Wednesday, I believe, or her Friday playthrough, whichever one it was, and you can hear it online. It's actually quite beautiful, and that's what convinced me to pick it up. That and the fact that I can now say I have an album by a pope in my collection, which I don't think I could have said before. Okay, that takes care of the albums. I have 3 piles over here. Pile-ons going to Whatnot now. I bought pile-ons from 3 different shows. Not like I'm not running out of room. I mean, I have so much room for things. But at the moment, I'm desperate to get all my music back, so I'm doing whatever I can. For those of you who don't know what happened, watch last week's show. This first pile-on includes The Only One by Hilo Brown. I don't know who that is. It's a promo copy. Hushabye by the Mystics. California Dreamin', the Mamas and the Papas. I think I have 2 or 3 copies of that now. Don't Take Your Love From Me, the Three Sons. I actually may have this also. I've had something by them since I was a kid. I got from Family Friend, and I don't remember if that was it or not. Another promotional record, I Thought of You, from Gene Shepard. The Day the Rains Came, Jane Morgan. Kiss is Sweeter Than Wine, Jimmie Rogers. That is a classic. I don't have that either. I'm glad to grab that. Whispering Bells by the Dell Vikings. And Don threw in the sleeve there, company sleeve. Always appreciate that. Saber Dance, Les Baxter. Love this too. I had that on digital too, and that's gone. If You Got a Minute, Baby, Freddie and the Dreamers on Mercury. This again. White Label is a promo. Never on Sunday by Don Costa. That's from the movie of the same name. Don was the composer of the score of that. Driving On, Windshield Wiper by Stuart Self. I don't know this gentleman. I do not know Ermine Records. But Janie M. was the owner of this originally. I have never heard this. Bobby Bland, Yield Not to Temptation, again on Duke. Also written on by somebody last name Leach. Does Anybody Really Know What Time It Is by Chicago, if I can pick it up here. With the classic 70s Columbia sleeve. Dreamer That I Am, Wendy Turner, with a Capitol sleeve from the 60s, and on that wonderful... I wish Capitol would go back to the swirly label. I always loved that label. Kenny Loggins, I'm Alright, theme from Caddyshack, which I have 2 or 3 copies of. Billy Butterfield and his orchestra, they're playing our song. This is an EP with 1, 2, 3, 4 songs on it. And Don included the cardboard picture sleeve. And Expose and Come Go With Me, again with a picture sleeve. Great stuff. And also in this set, I got a flexi disc, Paris 22, Seeing Through, from Heaven. Not sure what that is. It plays at 33. So that's cool. That's round 1. Now, grab rounds 2 and 3 over here. Round 2, Little Sister of the Johnny Mann Singers. Move my mouse a bit here. Let's Go, Let's Go, Let's Go, Hank Ballard and his Midnighters. And the Midnighters. Yeah, it's his with Bill Haley, not with Hank Ballard. 2 Buffaloes by Rolf Harris. Less said about him, the better at this point. If you don't know about it, go look on Wikipedia. Good Vibrations, the Beach Boys. I have that, of course. On several on CD, album, 45. I have a number of copies of that. Tell Me Why by the Belmonts. Blue Moon by the Marcells. Never had that on single. I have that on a comp somewhere. A song I was talking with Don Christopherson about last week when it showed up on Radio Retro. For the Love of Him, Bobby Martin. The Monkees, D.W. Washburn. Hit Records, this is one of those rip-off labels. Wipeout by the Music City 5. And Judy's Turn to Cry by Katie Richards. Not the original artist. Little Drummer Boy, the Harry Simone Choir, which is on, look at this. I've never had an original 20th Century Fox Records label. I have the 20th Century Records, which we covered on Label Nova, but this is the original label that ran from 1958 to 1964, I believe. That is so cool, and it belonged to Jim Bindle of Grand Rapids 8, Michigan. So that tells you how old that is, because it didn't even have a zip code yet. Magic Star by Margie Singleton. Comes with the Mercury sleeve. Canadian Sunset, Hugo Winterhalter, another one. I think I have a 45 from an earlier pile on. Plus, I did have the digital. I love that stuff. It's classic, beautiful music stuff for me. Tag Along by Larry Wayne. I don't know him. I don't know Santo Records, and I don't know if that's a promo because it's all white, but who knows? Knowing Me, Knowing You, ABBA. And Richard McCook, This Is For You, the flip side, Happy Hawaii. I love that song. I'm sorry, I know you didn't care for it, but I love it. I thought it was great. Like No Other Night, 38 Special. This one is interesting, and I'm not familiar with it at all. Shotgun Shuffle and Hey, listed as simply the Sunshine Band, not KC and the Sunshine Band. Casey is the writer, Harry Wayne Casey and Rick Finch, who are the writers here. This says, I'm trying to see the date on it. I can't see the date. So I'm not sure. I have a feeling this might be an instrumental. We'll see. If it's on the Greatest Hits album, I'm not familiar with it, because it would be if he was involved, probably. Love this. Joe Piscopo and I Love Rock and Roll, done in his Frank Sinatra persona. If you've never heard this, it's hilarious. And Frank loved it too. And I Could Never Miss You by Lulu, which was one of her final top 40 hit here in America. Shouldn't be. She's had a lot of great stuff since this came out, particularly her 1991 album Independence, which was awesome. All right, that's group 2. Another flexi. National Geographic, Songs of the Humpback Whale. Now, on to the third and final pile-on group. Phantom Rocker and Slick, Men Without Shame, with a picture sleeve. And Vivian sings Light a Candle. I don't know Vivian. She's a very pretty lady, though. Come Together, Ike and Tina Turner. I don't think I've ever heard them do that. I'm assuming from the Lennon McCartney credit, it is the Beatles song. I don't think I've ever heard them do that song. Kind of a Drag, the Buckinghams, which, believe it or not, I don't think I've ever had before. I know I don't have anything on USA Records, so that's kind of cool. My Girl, Donnie Iris, which I think was his final top 40 hit in 81 or 82. Living Thing, ELO, awesome. And this is the black vinyl. I don't remember if this is the one or if it's Sweet Talkin' Woman that's on blue vinyl. One of them is on blue vinyl. Hey Hey Baby, T-Bone Walker. I have to admit, I've not heard this, but I'm excited to hear it because, well, I'm looking for a lot of stuff I haven't heard for Saturday Night Disco Party, and I don't know this. The Temprees and I Found Love on a Disco Floor. We will give that a look-see very shortly. Only the Lonely, the Motels. Martha Davis, one of the best, torchiest singers ever. We Ain't Got Nothing Yet. Blues, what is their name? Blues Magoos. New Orleans by Gary U.S. Bonds. This is just U.S. Bonds at the time. He hadn't yet added the Gary to it yet. Jeannie Marie by Buzz and Al. I'm not sure who they are. Never heard of them. I'm Following You. The Blenders. This is the original band, the Blenders, not to be confused with the a cappella vocal group of the same name that had a hit with Dean Friedman's I'm in Love with the McDonald's Girl in 1999. Riptide, Bob Anderson. I do not know Bob Anderson, but I want to know. I'm going to have to when I'm doing new stuff for Label Nova, which is going to get revamped a little bit when it comes back. I did not know Bally owned a record label until I started getting some of these pile-ons. I'm Crying by the Animals. This is a song I am unfamiliar with by them. I know a lot of their stuff, but that's not one of them. Pineapple Princess by Annette. Annette being Annette Funicello, of course, on Vista Records. That Christmas Feeling from Perry Como. Commonly referred to in our house by Kim as Perry Como. Thank you so much, Animaniacs. Do It Again, the Beach Boys. I Heard the Bells on Christmas Day, Fred Waring. This is a promo copy and was obviously from a radio station because they've got it keyed up here and everything. It came in their professional sleeve and everything. Strange Kisses, Rod Bernard. And Cry Me a River by Janice Harper. I don't know her version of that. I don't know who she is. But I'm looking forward to discovering these as we go along. As always, Dawn and Mary are busy throughout the week. Check out the schedule over here to my right. But their big sales are Tuesday nights at 7. I actually mod for them on Tuesday nights at 7 on their Whatnot sale. It usually runs about 90 minutes now because they added a few more things, another pile-on, and a few other things over Christmas that have proved to be popular, so they're hanging on to them. And that CD that Dawn sent me was actually my gift from winning the wheel on Whatnot a couple weeks ago. And they also are on with Cajun Roots Reseller at New England Cajun Roots Reseller on his Hump Day auction on Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. And they have stuff throughout the week, including Chick Chat Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon. And there's the Random 45 play on Sunday, the Weird Album Wednesday on Wednesday, and an album from their collection on Friday. And occasionally, Widget gets representation too. That's their cat, one of their cats. And because Trevor is on the shirt. And they have a lot of great stuff, and they're great people, and I can't thank them enough for being a rock of support over the last few weeks when I've been pulling my hair out over this mess. And of course, Dawn is my co-host for Finding Your Music Mojo. We have a show coming up a week from Monday. We just did ours this last week, and lots of great stuff coming up there. Dawn and Mary, awesome pickups. Thank you.
Jump into the time machine and find out the #1 hits of a chart year from a variety of music sources. Flashback tracks, Thursdays, 4 p.m. USET, TKR Video Central on YouTube. If she's thinking about it, you know she's bound to have an opinion on it. Kim Takes On, alternate Tuesdays, 7 p.m. USET, TKR Video Central on YouTube.
So, one of my regular features on this show is the Black Box Record Club. I get a shipment from them every month. What's going on, Black Box? I haven't received anything from you since November. No, October. I know my payment was made. I've checked. It came out in late October for the next 3 months. I've written to you twice now, and I have not heard a word from you. I've gotten notice that you've started to ship November and December to me, but every time I check them, they seem to be sitting in the warehouse. What's going on, Black Box? I'm not real happy with you right now, because right now you've taken 3 months of my membership and taken 2 months and haven't given me a damn thing. I am not real pleased right now with Black Box Record Club. And I'm not getting any answers from them. I don't know. I tried to find out who they're affiliated with. Um, if they're affiliated with Vinyl Me Please, then I understand the problems. But they don't make that clear in any of their documentation. I went over to their website, couldn't get anywhere. I've written to them twice now with the tracking numbers. Nothing. So here's the deal, Black Box. You have 1 week to get in touch with me about what the hell is happening. If you do not, I am going to put a charge back on my last payment, and we are going to call it quits. I don't want to do that because I really enjoy getting the surprise every month. But I'm being forced into it because you are not responding to my emails, and I want to know what the hell is going on. So get in touch, Black Box.
If you like what you see on YouTube, don't miss the rest of the story. News, reviews, chart library, in-depth profiles, commentary, and more. Check out my full website, thekirkhamreport.com.
As you can see from what I showed, I cannot express my immense pain of knowing how many people have lost their homes in the various fires in Southern California over the last 2 weeks. Personally touched by me because Tristan Lake Leabu is one of my favorite up-and-coming young artists. I named his album Living in Yesterday my favorite digital album of 2024. It is absolutely a great album, and I am asking my listeners to please help his family out. They have a fundraiser going on. Tristan talks a little bit in that fundraiser and in the video clip that I posted on the community page, showing the devastation. They had just moved into that house in Pacific Palisades a few months ago, and they lost everything. They lost artwork, they lost records, they lost all their furniture, all their possessions are all gone. They're not the only ones. Music Cares is collecting donations. A whole bunch of them are, but I'm asking you to support Tristan because I'm such a huge fan. I have been a fan of him since I first saw him playing Lois Lane's son in Superman Returns years ago when he was like 5 or 6 years old. Now he's eschewed acting for music and is really an amazing songwriter, singer, performer, and he needs some help. Him and his family, they need some help. There's a link in the show notes to his fundraiser. Even if it's just a few bucks, help him out, will you please? Thank you.
Stay ahead of dangerous weather no matter what the season. Stay aware and stay safe. PNR WeatherCentral on YouTube.
Ready for this?
Okay, let's start with the big news. I'm at 1K plus. Woo! As of this morning, I have 1,028 subscriptions. Thank you so much for helping me get over the 1K mark last Sunday. And I really appreciate it. I think it's owed mostly to Saturday Night Disco Party, which really blew up my numbers. I've grown 400 or some subscribers in the last 3 months. Cannot thank you guys enough for that. I do have new goals. They were listed in the video. If you didn't see the video, it's up on the website, the thank you video. And I will have a list of those goals next week when I get a chance. But the fact that I made it to 1,000 is still astonishing. And I hope to be able to continue to grow that and continue to bring stuff to you. But here's the latest. You guys know what happened to me. If you watched the show last week, I lost all my musical files in a drive mishap that cost me over 500K. I checked my Music Beat program, which it still has a list of everything. It was something like 521,462, some crazy number like that, of files of MP3, WMA, FLAC, and WAV files. About 30% of which I probably can't replace. The rest of them I can slowly. I can re-download them. I've been working over the last week to actually plan out how I want to do this, because I need to get everything in the room finished, because my CDs, I mean, they're right here, I can get to them, but I want to have them and be able, when I'm doing them, to put them back in their new place. And so that's what I'm going to be doing the next couple of days, because I'm off till Tuesday, because I work a state job and we're off on Martin Luther King Day. It is a long process, and I cannot thank everybody enough for all the kind words last week. I heard from so many of my regulars, and I thank you so much for the kind words and for helping. I mean, it is really devastating to lose that much music, especially the ones that I can't replace. And while most of it can be re-ripped, thankfully, this is one of the reasons I strongly advocate record labels to always include a download with vinyl purchases, because that backs up what you have on vinyl. And when you lose the vinyl, or when you lose the digital file, you're kind of out of luck. And it would be nice if, once you've had that code, you could re-download it for free. You've already bought it, you know, having used that, you just have to say, hey, I've lost it, or whatever. That would be a great way. That's one thing I'd like to see the labels do. Of course, we all know that's not going to happen. But I can dream. In any case, over the next month, I will be slowly rebuilding the collection. I am already on the hunt online for things that I need to do: radio retro, disco party, and flashback tracks. Those 3 shows will probably be the only shows that'll be up this month, because I can do those each week by downloading, for the most part. The other shows that I do will be back. I had planned for them to come back last week, but the drive issue precluded that. So Influencers and Label Nova and all those, plus all the Mixcloud stuff, has to wait until I get things back up and running. In any case, once again, thank you for everybody that's been so kind and has reached out to me. I really appreciate it. And it means a lot to me that I mean a lot to you. That's really something. And that you feel my pain. And I know it's nothing like, I told Professor Carlson, this is nothing like losing his physical media in the flood that they had when the dam broke a few years ago. But it's still devastating. And it's nowhere near the devastation that Tristan Lake Leabu and his family are going through from the fire, in the Palisades fire. But it is definitely something that affects me. And music has been part of my life all my life. And I'm going to be 62 my next birthday. So that's, oh God, I don't look that old, do I? I don't think I do. In any case, that's what's going on. I'm going to be doing, what I've decided to do is do things in stages. This next week I'm going to work on getting the drive set up, because I haven't finished I need to do some maintenance on the new drive to get it, get folders and stuff set up, and then I will spend the week attempting to re-download stuff from Amazon, eMusic, Bandcamp, and one or two other sources I've used. I can't remember which ones they were. I got a contact pool. I'm not going to be able to do anything with TKR Century. I've got most of that on disc, thankfully, but not everything from 2016 forward was digital only. But I can find the hits I need online, I'm sure. In any case, stay tuned to the community page. I will keep you up to date on what's going on. And I am rebuilding. I am keeping up those 3 shows because they are the shows that everybody loves. Radio Retro, which I told you a couple weeks ago, is my favorite show because I discover so much new music. This week's, that'll be up tomorrow, I picked an adult contemporary station from a tiny little podunk town. I hadn't heard of half the songs on the top 30, so that was fun. I love that. I love discovering stuff like that. That'll be up Sundays, flashback tracks on Thursdays, and Saturday Night Disco Party on Saturdays. Those shows will continue, and the rest will come back eventually. Thank you again.
An hour of lively discussion about music from 2 huge music fans. Finding your music mojo with TC and Dawn. Live alternate Mondays, 7 p.m. USET. TKR Video Central and 2 Hip Chips on YouTube, and TKR Video Central on Twitch.
I have blathered on enough. It's time to get out of here. Good Lord knows this is going to be a long show. Forgive me for getting a little political in the cover story, but I'm just so outrageously angry at what happened yesterday. This decision is as bad as the blurred lines decision, and it is wrong again, and I just can't let go of it. I am really, really pissed at the Supreme Court today, because they are bowing to government pressure rather than actually looking at the situation and realizing that 99% of all the scholars out there who told them it's unconstitutional can't be wrong. In any case, enough about that. I hope you all have a good weekend. If you are on TikTok this week, I am so sorry. I hope that there's a solution in the works. President-elect Trump says he has something in the works, and ByteDance's CEO is going to be at the inauguration. Well, I'll just have to wait and see, won't we? And of course, Biden is pretty much doing nothing, so they're kind of in limbo, and I understand everybody's frustration. It's just like my own frustration right now. In any case, enough of being political. I always try to stay, I don't want to get political. I want to get the show to stay happy and music-centric, and that is what it's all about. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And if you have, thank you, and thank you all for helping me get across the 1,000 threshold, the 1K threshold. I still haven't heard from vidIQ. I got a thing saying I got 175,000 views, but I didn't get my, hey, you reached 1,000. Come on, Rob, get off your keister. I did get one, as you saw in the thank you video from TubeDaddy, though. What does that say? In any case, also don't forget to share, don't forget to like, and please leave a comment. Without your comments, I don't know how I'm doing, and it helps me to make new friends. I've made so many new friends through the comments, and I have regular correspondence with so many people. I apologize for no lighting setup this week. I'm in the middle of revamping it. I got to get the new light on the desk. I got to get some other stuff up, and this wall has been bare for too long. I got to get those lights up. I've had them for over a year. It's just that I'm afraid to climb on the stepladder. In any case, hopefully with everything back to normal, as far as the way things look and stuff, I will be back on this particular program next Saturday, same bat time, same bat channel, right here in the vinyl community. And I hope you'll be there. Until next week for the Kirkham Report and TKR Video Central, I'm TC Kirkham. I will see you on the interwebs. Ciao, baby.